In this video, I'm going to review the Acorns investment app. And in case you're not familiar with Acorns, I'll start with a quick overview. So if you're wondering, what is Acorns all about? What does Acorns do exactly? How does Acorns work? I've got you covered. And then I'll share the pros and cons with Acorns as I see them from a perspective of someone who has over 20 years of intense research, study, and real-world experience when it comes to personal finance and investing. The name Acorns comes from the proverb, "Mighty oaks from little acorns grow." I love that. And if you've ever studied the mind-blowing power of compound interest, you can see how this applies to growing your money. At my Financial Freedom 101 event, I often ask the participants if they'd rather get $100 right now or a penny right now, but that penny will double every day for 30 days. Now, usually they can sense that it's a trick question and they choose the penny, even if they haven't actually done the math. Then we look at how the math works out and we see that a penny doubling every day for 30 days turns into over $5 million. What? That's the power of compound interest. So if you think of every penny or equivalent in your country as a money seed, you start seeing more opportunities to plant more money seeds and have them grow for you by investing them. Acorns is an app that helps you plant more money seeds because once you connect your credit and debit cards to the app, it'll round up your purchases for you and invest the spare change on your behalf into one of their computer-managed investment portfolios. So if you spend $15.15 on groceries, as long as you use a card that's linked to your Acorns app, Acorns will round that up to $16 and invest the 85-cent difference for you. They have 5 different investment portfolio mixes to choose from based on your self-described risk tolerance: conservative, moderately conservative, moderate, moderately aggressive, and aggressive. Keep in mind that the terms conservative and aggressive are subjective. They mean different things to different people. Aggressive might sound scary if you're a beginner at investing, but I actually find their most aggressive portfolio to be too conservative for me. In addition to their spare change model of investing, they've expanded their services from there to include different types of accounts, like accounts for saving for retirement and education, and different ways to earn money or get kickbacks. For example, you can get deals with hundreds of brands through one of their services called Earn. Like if you buy a new iPhone from Apple, Acorns will round the price up and invest the spare change like it does with every transaction. And then on top of that, 1.5% of the purchase price will come out of Apple's profits and also go into your investment account. So here's what I like about Acorns. First of all, if you have a hard time saving money, this is an easy way to start saving and investing in such small amounts throughout the month that you probably won't even feel the difference. The American Society of Pension Professionals and Actuaries did some detailed research on retirement success, and what they discovered was that by far the biggest key to success was savings rate. Savings rate. 74% of what made someone have enough money to retire was that they actually saved money and invested it in the first place. So I get excited about anything that helps people increase their savings rate, especially if they can automate the process. Because if you've seen my How to Make Passive Income e-course, you'll know that one of the smartest and most critical things that you can do in laying a firm foundation for financial freedom is to set up auto transfers to your savings and investment accounts. And then, even better, once you have your money getting automatically transferred every month, you'll want to set up auto investing so that the money doesn't just get auto transferred into your account and then sit there, but it automatically gets invested according to your investment strategy. I call this putting yourself on prosperity cruise control. This way you don't have to remember to do it or rely on your willpower, so it's much easier to actually do it and be consistent. Research shows that people who have money automatically transferred increase their savings by 81% a year. And in case you haven't seen my How to Make Passive Income e-course, you can check it out for free right here on YouTube. You can click the link in the description or just look for that playlist on my channel. But bottom line, Acorns makes it easy to start small and automate these smart money habits. I like that. If you're new to investing, you can get started without having to hire an expensive financial advisor that'll charge you a huge upfront fee or a percentage of your portfolio. And there's no minimum to open an account and only a $5 minimum to start investing, where some other brokerages require a much larger minimum to get started. If you're really, honestly, cross your heart and hope to die, gonna spend a certain amount of money anyway with one of the brands that participates in the Earn program, and you really can't get a better price anywhere else, then it's nice that they'll put a little extra money into your investment account for you. In terms of the investment options, I like that the Acorns portfolios include ETFs. ETFs are exchange-traded funds, and they work similar to a mutual fund in that they pool investors' money together, and then they buy a bunch of different stocks or bonds or whatever, depending on the type of fund it is. But their fees are a lot lower than the fees for most mutual funds, which can really help you grow your money a lot faster over time. Now, let's talk about the downsides to using Acorns. If you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of money to invest, the fees can be cost prohibitive. Right now, Acorns costs between $3 to $12 a month, depending on which plan you choose. Now that might not sound like a lot, but if you have $100 invested, that $3 a month means paying 36% in fees. A decent financial advisor will charge you more like 1% in fees. And there are a lot of online brokerages like Charles Schwab or E-Trade that don't charge any fees at all. For the Acorns fee at the $3 a month level, to be 1% of your portfolio, you would need to have $3,600 invested, at which point you'd have more than enough money to meet the minimum balance requirement of most online brokerages, many of which have no fees. So out of curiosity, I counted up how many transactions I processed with my debit card in 1 month, and I had a total of 32. So if Acorns is rounding up an average of 50 cents on each transaction, that would mean $16 a month going into my Acorns investment account. A $3 a month fee would be almost 19% of my monthly contribution. And if you heard of any other brokerage or advisor charging that, you would tell me to run away immediately. In that case, you'd probably be better off setting up a $16 a month auto transfer to a free or inexpensive online brokerage, and then even have them set up auto investing for you. That might be a few more steps than setting up the Acorns app. But once you've done it, you have that $3 a month going to your investments instead of getting eaten up by fees, which again, doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a large percentage of a small beginner portfolio. In terms of the Earn feature, where you can get cash back from different brands, I have to admit, I am highly skeptical of any type of shop to earn program, including points, miles, or rewards on credit cards and things like that. And that's just because it increases your chances of spending more money than you would otherwise. Did you know that you statistically spend 12 to 18% more with a credit card than if you just paid in cash? If you are honest to goodness, cross your heart, just getting rewards on money that you 100% would have spent anyway, okay. But if you're increasing your spending by 12 to 18% and then getting 1 to 2% back in rewards, that's not helping you financially. It's hurting you, right? In terms of the investment portfolios that Acorns offers, all of them tend to underperform the market, which I don't love. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and I don't sell financial products or give financial advice, so please don't make any investment decisions based on a YouTube video, okay? That said, it's very difficult to beat just investing in a fund that tracks the overall stock market. The vast majority of professionally managed funds don't beat the market. In their most aggressive portfolio, Acorns puts 55% of your money into VOO, which is the type of fund I'm talking about. So if they let you put all your money in that portfolio, then your money would do more or less what the market does. But instead, they force you to put nearly half your money in other stuff that's underperforming, like putting 30% of your money in an international fund. And I get why they do it. The thought is that there may come a time in the future when the international markets are doing better than the US stock market. But international funds have been underperforming for over a decade, which means that your portfolio is just leaking money like crazy. If your money grows by 8%, but it should have grown by 10%, that's a 2% money leak. And that might not sound like a lot, but a 2% money leak over time can mean the difference between being able to retire comfortably and being forced to work at Walmart when you're 80. For example, if you invest $200 a month for 40 years and your money grows at 10% per year, your money will grow to over $1,275,000. But if you only earned 8%, after that 2% money leak, you would end up with a little less than $703,000. So that small 2% money leak would mean you have $572,000 less. And if you want to start living off your investments at that point, the 2% money leak means that your money will only be generating about $4,700 a month instead of about $10,600 a month, which is nearly $6,000 a month less. In terms of investing for retirement through what they call Acorns Later, I like that the accounts are SIPC protected up to $500,000. This doesn't mean you won't lose money with market fluctuations, but it'll give you some protection if Acorns itself were to go under. I love the idea that Acorns will give you a 3% match on your IRA in your first year. I think that is a really cool marketing angle, but if you do the math on that, it only comes out to $210. And in order to get that $210, you have to max out your IRA for the year, join a more expensive level of Acorns, and keep your funds there for at least 4 years, which just doesn't seem worth it to me. Finally, the last downside to Acorns I want to point out is that it makes you feel like you're doing something great for your financial future when the results are minimal. Investing $16 a month is better than investing nothing. But in 30 years at 10%, you'll only end up with about $36,000, which just isn't enough to retire on. So if this is what gets you started, I am all for it. But ultimately, a good goal to aim for is to invest 20% or more of your income. And if you can't do that yet, that's okay. It's okay to start small. But as your income goes up over time, I encourage you to get that transfer ratio up before you increase your lifestyle. And of course, decreasing your expenses can help with that too. In terms of your strategy for how you will actually invest the money that you transfer, we do a deep dive on investment strategy at my Financial Freedom 101 online 3-day event. So I will link in the description, or you can go to financialfreedom101online.com if you'd like to check it out. Bottom line, I think the Acorns app is great if that's what it takes to get you started investing consistently. And ultimately, I think you have better options for growing your money elsewhere as you increase your financial education and you get more comfortable with investing. If you found this helpful, please tap the like button on this video if you haven't already done that, because it helps more people have access to this information and it helps me be able to keep making videos like this for you. And if you'd like to see more videos from me around personal finance, money management, saving and investing, and financial freedom, make sure to subscribe to this channel and click that little bell icon so you'll see when I make a new video. Thanks for watching and happy investing.